Hello everyone. I posted a comment back to Robert with regards to the way he's showing about polishing up the conductive ink on a sheet. Now I've kind of done the same thing, not say that I am copying kind of what Robert was doing, but I was kind of always working on the same thing last night, but I didn't put a video together. However, I was wanting to do something else on top of that, and it was quite nice that I responded back to Robert with a comment that I did, because I also wanted to see whether I could actually improve the connection between the aluminium foil, the carbon, via the zinc oxide. Robert's kind of sent me some across, and effectively what I want to do is take the whole heat mat concept. Initially, obviously Robert and his colleagues explained more about potentially using it as underfloor heating or a huge radiator, which I think is great because I don't like the cold at all. So really I just want to see whether I can actually improve this bond by kind of combining everything that we've been putting together and playing around with. So what I've got here is the zinc oxide, and as mentioned, and if you watch Robert's video, it's very much the same, except I used instead just a piece of kitchen roll, and you polish up your conductive ink. As you can see on all the blemishes, I've not used the blade method. I was just too in much of a rush and wanted to crack on with things. So again, as normal, I've taped up, so I've got no chance of getting any form of other contact that I don't want. I've used some insulation tape, which I've then run out, and obviously used a bit of masking tape. And all I want to do really is, without getting this all over the place, just lightly put this on. Now, what I've learned from applying this sometimes is I do find with the ink being wet, I was trying to explain this to my wife earlier, is essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get two dry paints essentially together, and by kind of being too abrasive, I think sometimes with applying the zinc oxide, I can sometimes end up mixing the conductive ink, which I don't want to do. I want to keep them totally separate, and hence why I'm being kind of cautious here. Let's just chuck some splodge on there. I won't make any references to any form of artistic painters because I think I might get a bit of a backlash. Surprised there's not any jokes out just yet. So with that to do, that's all done and dusted. Just as a quick thing is, when you use Robert's ink and anything, be careful of how you do the threads. I've been very clumsy and I've got it all over the place, and I know when I'm going to put this on, it's going to glue together, which will just build up the strength of my arms. So if I just let's get some roll. Neaten this. I'm saying neaten this up. I mean, this is obviously a crude method. I've cut my aluminium foil to shape, so I just want to lay that nice and square. That's a very smooth application. Now this is where I've got my crocodile clips, and hopefully that'll need some new ones at this rate. Let's put these. Okay, that's a bit better. There we go. And setting off that in motion. Now, I think as we can agree, I mean, that to me looks relatively smooth as possible. Now, what I did do is I also purchased on eBay a tiny, these are called fish tank thermometers. I did work with a guy who unfortunately the thermostat on his fish tank failed and effectively boiled his tropical fish. Obviously at the time I did actually find it quite amusing, but he didn't, and nor did his wife. But needless to say, that will kind of give me an indication of how the temperature is climbing. It will climb. It's relatively steady. It's not. This is just a heads up. This is not a real time temperature. I can't get that angle quite right for you. So I mean it's at 24.9 degrees. So you can see, like Robert and the rest of the people, rest of them have shown, is applying the current across here. It does increase the temperature. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that for maybe half an hour, The temperature does again climb up. I've had this, I think I had it earlier, 30, I think I got up to 35 degrees or yeah, a little bit more until I actually did this process. But ultimately what I want to do is I just want to get this to bond very well. I think essentially what I'm doing, I'm just cooking cooking my way to some form of bond. Whether it works or not we'll see, but yeah, I'll post the results as and when. So there we go. Thank you very much.